Okay, let's dive into one of the ocean's most persistent questions. Is the biggest predator that ever lived really gone for good? Or did it just pull off the greatest vanishing act in history by retreating into the one place we can't follow?
You know, it's pretty wild when you think about it. We call this planet Earth, but it's really a water world. And what's even crazier is we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about our own ocean floor. And this is the number that really matters. 95%. That's how much of our own ocean is still completely unexplored, totally unmapped and unseen by any human. It's the planet's last true wilderness, and, well, it's the perfect hiding place.
So it really makes you wonder, right? In all of that darkness, with all that unexplored space, what if the most terrifying predator in history never actually died out? What if it just went deep?
All right, so first things first, let's get a handle on the sheer size of the creature we're even talking about. Because before you can hunt for a ghost like this, you have to appreciate just how massive its shadow really is.
I mean, just look at this comparison. Autodus Megalodon wasn't just a big shark. It was on a whole other level. It makes a great white look like a guppy. We're talking about teeth the size of your hand, and a bite force that could literally crush a car. It was nature's perfect killing machine.
So, if it was this ultimate predator, where did it go? Let's take a look at the official story. Science has a very clear, evidence-based explanation for what happened to this monster.
You know, when you look at the fossil record, the story is pretty straightforward. This beast ruled the oceans for a mind-boggling 20 million years. And then, poof, around 3.6 million years ago, it just disappears from the record. The trail goes completely cold.
The consensus among scientists is that it was basically a perfect storm. The planet's oceans started to cool down, its main food source, giant whales, began moving to colder waters where the Megalodon couldn't follow, and new, faster predators like the great white started showing up to compete for what was left.
But what if the official story isn't the whole story? What if there are a few bugs in the code, a few glitches in the system? Because when you start to poke at it, the case for total extinction might not be as airtight as we've been led to believe.
And this is where things get really interesting. On one hand, science is pretty firm. Megalodon was a warm water species, and the deep ocean is freezing. Case closed, right? But then you have the coelacanth. This is a fish that we thought died out with the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, and we found it alive and kicking in the deep sea. Nature has a way of surprising us.
Now, for a megalodon to be alive today, it couldn't be the exact same animal from the fossil record. It would have needed a massive biological upgrade, a radical evolutionary patch to handle the insane pressure and the bone-chilling cold of the abyss. It would have had to completely reboot its system to survive.
But here's the crazy thing. If it did adapt, the deep sea offers this bizarre advantage. It's a phenomenon called abyssal giantism. For some reason, things that live down in the deep tend to get way, way bigger than their shallow water cousins. We see it with giant squid, giant crustaceans, so a giant shark, it wouldn't even be that out of place.
And maybe the most important part of all this? Camouflage. Down in the pitch-black abyss, an 18-meter-long animal has the ultimate cover. I mean, if something that huge doesn't want to be found in an ocean that's miles deep, we're not going to find it. Simple as that.
Okay, so the theory is there. It's plausible. It could survive. But what about proof? Has anything at all in modern times even hinted that this creature might still be out there?
Well, there's a ton of stuff, but it's all kind of sketchy. Grainy videos, weird sonar pings, old photos of fins that are just too big. But the one that gets me? The massive unexplained bite marks found on deep diving whales. It really makes you ask, what else is down there that's big enough to take a chunk out of a whale?
This even makes you rethink the whole great white shark story. Was the great white just the next better model that replaced the old one? Or was it a rival that won the fight for the surface waters, forcing the bigger, badder predator to retreat into the deep and adapt to a whole new world down below?
And this all boils down to a really important idea in science. Just because we don't have proof of something, that doesn't prove it doesn't exist. When 95% of the ocean is a complete mystery, not finding a body or a fresh tooth doesn't mean a thing. We simply can't prove it's gone from a place we've barely even looked.
So that leaves us with one last massive question. Is the Megalodon just a fossil, a closed chapter in our planet's history? Or is its so-called extinction just an error in our detection system, a ghost in the machine, a shadow on the sonar that we can't identify yet, still patrolling the one part of our world we have yet to truly explore? The answer is out there, somewhere in the dark.